coming up.
But with the fallen Messiah, it was clear that he was a girly man for the entire 8 years. He even admitted that Michelle Obama was his boss. She's the boss. She's my boss. And
so you never heard conservative men talk about their wives as the boss?
Not. I've heard.
Dude, really? Like, is it? I didn't realize I was stepping back in time when I went on this show. It must be really cool. Like, I'm surprised to see you in those modern clothes because I would think you'd also dress like you were from the 1800s.
I don't hear you never. You don't hear real men saying that. Why is it okay to say that the wife is the boss, but it's not okay to say that the man is the boss?
All right, so let's go there. So does that mean I'm not a real woman? Because I got short hair, I'm, with a woman. I mean, I guess I'm not a real woman then in your book.
Did you say with a woman?
Yeah, I'm a lesbian.
Oh. Well, you can't be. Now, you are a female. That's apparent. But you can't be a real woman and be a lesbian.
You can't?
No.
Wow. All right, man.
Sally Kohn is back with me. She's a columnist and political commentator for CNN. She's working on a book about hate and due in spring of 2018. Sally, good morning. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, how are you?
All is well. Thank you so much for coming on, and congratulations on your upcoming book.
Yeah, congratulate me if we make it all the way to April. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
You sure got one persistent team, by the way. My credit to your team. They just stay right on me through every time I got the flu, and they were like, "That they all deserve bonuses. They are determined."
You're absolutely right, James and Dallon. I know you talked to Dallon, and he definitely worked hard to get you here, and I appreciate that.
Dallon, not Dylan?
I mean, well, his stage name is Dallon.
Well, okay.
But his birth name is Dylan.
I like Dallon.
Yeah, I do too. So let me ask you about hate. You gave a TED Women talk about love and the problem of hate. What is hate?
Well, as I define it, hate is believing that you or the group of people you belong to is inherently better than some other group of people and discriminating against, demeaning, dehumanizing other people accordingly. I define it pretty broadly because I think we have a big problem with hate. And that, by the way, includes everything from not just sexism, as we were just alluding to, or homophobia, but also partisanship. It includes Democrats hating on Republicans and Republicans hating on Democrats, not hating or even debating just civilly their ideas, but really thinking that those others, because of their ideas, are fundamentally less deserving of public space and voice. I think that's hate.
So would you agree with me that anger is hate?
That's an interesting question. Not necessarily always, right? I mean, let's go back to putting my kid to sleep last night. I was very angry at my kid that she was not going to sleep. I did not, however, hate her. So not always, right? But
you were not feeling love for her in those moments when you felt anger toward her. You only felt anger, right?
Of course I was. No, of course I was feeling love.
But the kid wasn't feeling love because, and I'm sure you agree that in the
Jesse.
In the nature of anger, there is no love. Would you agree?
No, I don't think so. I mean, for instance, I'm not sure what you're getting at, but in addition to refuting your previous example, no, in fact, I was angry at my kid and still loving her. And hopefully being angry in a loving way. I also believe, for instance, there's such a thing as righteous anger. When you look at injustice in the world, when you see someone being treated unfairly, whether it's a kid being bullied or a community of people starving halfway around the world, I feel angry about that.
That's not righteous anger. When you can see injustice and don't resent injustice, but deal with it, then anger is not involved, you can see how to deal with it properly. What is love? If anger is love, what is love?
I didn't say anger is love. I said that they're not. I said that they're not the opposites. They're not opposites.
So let me ask, what is love?
Boy, how much time do we have? I mean, there's the love we hopefully feel for our family and our friends. There's self-love, the feeling of deep contentedness in your own place in life. And then there's what Cornel West calls justice, which is love done in public, which I believe is a kind of love. Loving your fellow human beings, wanting to see them not overdosing on opioids, not working 3 jobs and unable to feed their families, not able to send their kids to college, or I think that's all. To me, that's a kind of public love, an ethic of love.
But the love you just named is not real love. Love is.
Oh, I didn't realize you were the arbiter. Okay, go ahead.
Love is not hating, not being angry. When you don't have anger, then you have love. You can only have one or the other. And so when you overcome anger, when you don't have that at all, you have love. And it's not an emotion. You can't taste it, touch it, or see it. You live by it. It guides your life. But others around you can see it because within you, there is no darkness. You only have love.
We can disagree. I'm okay with that. I hope you are. And second of all, what do you think it means? Do you think that societies love their people? Do you think, what does it look like for a nation, for this nation, to love its people?
Well, I see it. I mean, it's right in front of our faces today, and that the people on the left, and including the Rhino Republicans, you can see that they have no love for President Trump, the Great White Hope. They have only hate. They have no love, and in that fallen state of anger, it's driving them nuts. It makes them do and say crazy things. But then the folks who have the love of the president, you can see this love coming through them, not only for the president, but for the country. Would you agree with me that...
That's not what I asked. I asked, what does it look like for a country to love its people? Because, for instance, I look at the fact that I know people, and I know we all know people who are working 3 jobs, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, haven't seen their wages go up in years.
Oh, I got what you're asking me, yeah.
And I look at that and I say, this is not the kind of thing that happens in a country that loves its people. I look at people overdosing at record rates of opioid addictions throughout rural America. And I say, this is not what happens in a country that loves its people.
Well, let me tell you what it looks like when a country loves its people. You put a big, beautiful wall around the borders to stop the illegal aliens from coming in. You protect the country from radical Islamic terrorism. You put a restraining order or restriction on those countries, a ban on those countries that are allowing their evil ones to come here to kill us. You cut back on taxes for businesses and the rest of the working class people.
See, all you're describing
you
is
bring back jobs. You put the country first.
You're describing what happens when a country hates other people, which, fine, we can argue about that.
But how is that hate?
For instance, I'm not keeping my kid. I don't show my love for my kid just by locking my front door, right? I also have to nourish her and nurture her and educate her and support her and help her. And how does a country love its people and do that? I don't see
Sally,
that
you are showing love. You are showing love to your kid by locking the door. You're not leaving the border open so that the enemy can come in and kill her.
Then what?
I'm sorry?
Then what?
Then you provide. You show her how to grow up and take care of herself. You provide her. You become a good example.
By giving money to rich kids down the street?
As the Great White Hope is doing for Americans today. For the first time in the history, well, not in the history, in a long time, maybe since Ronald Reagan, we now have a president who's showing his love for the people by putting the country first.
Some people.
And then fighting off the ones who hate him on the left. Sally, the one thing I can guarantee you with all that is within me, and that is Obama is a male, but he's not a man. and he hate masculinity.
Oh, good. So wait a second. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Would you find it offensive if I said because Donald Trump has a different vision of America than I do, which is for the most part true, not entirely, but for the most part true. Would you find it offensive if I said because we have a difference of opinion, I think he's not an American? Would you think that's offensive?
No, I would not.
You wouldn't.
No,
Are you being
because
serious?
I would disagree. I would disagree with that, but you have a right to be wrong. And so I wouldn't take it personally.
Right. No, I'm not saying you take it personally, but in other words, I don't get to qualify your essence based on disagreements over policies and ideas. In other words, because Barack Obama has a different idea about the role of women in society, that they should be treated equally, than you're not just going to say, all right, man, I disagree with you. You're going to say, he's not a man.
I think
then you're going to turn around and say that the left is being hateful?
all human beings should be treated justly and honestly. But Barack Obama, again, there was nothing, he even said, but there was nothing that stood out to imply, as we see with the Great White Hope, we know that he is a man. He's beyond just being a male, right? But with the fallen Messiah, it was clear that he was a girly man for the entire 8 years. He even admitted that Michelle Obama was his boss. She's the boss. She's my boss. And
so you've never heard conservative men talk about their wives as the boss?
I've heard we...
Dude, really? Is it... I didn't realize I was stepping back in time when I went on this show. It must be really cool. I'm surprised to see you in those modern clothes because I would think you'd also dress like you were from the 1800s.
I don't hear... You don't hear real men saying that. Why is it okay to say that the wife is the boss, but it's not okay to say that the man is the boss?
All right, so let's go there. So does that mean I'm not a real woman? Because I got short hair, I'm, with a woman. I mean, I guess I'm not a real woman then in your book.
Did you say with a woman?
Yeah, I'm a lesbian.
Oh. Well, you can't be... Now, you are a female. That's apparent. But you can't be a real woman and be a lesbian.
You can't?
No.
Wow. All right, man.